Man, don't you just love birthdays? It's crazy how much effort people put into just celebrating you exist. I'm in such a birthday mood today that I'm just gonna search a game on Google that came out today, and whatever that is, I'll review it. Oh well, that'd be pointless. I mean, everyone already knows the story of Mighty Number 9 by this point. Oh. So basically, Mega Man's father, Keiji Inafune, who's been the main producer on like every Mega Man game, left Capcom, predicting doom and gloom for the video game industry. He then kickstarts his own Mega Man, re-entering the video game industry. Said Kickstarter does very well, and people are hyped. But after numerous delays and bad trailers, Mighty Number 9 finally released 8 years ago today, and the world never recovered. That's a lie, of course. Of course the world recovered, otherwise I wouldn't have to explain this to you. No one remembers this game anymore. But should we? Were people just salty about wasting their Kickstarter money or it not being like Mega Man enough? I, for one, have a bit of unique perspective here, as I have very limited experience with the Blue Bomber this game is based on. I bought the Legacy Collection on Steam during a sale. I played it for an hour. I refunded it because I realized it was an impulse buy. And outside of that, the funny bonus level in Super Meat Boy Forever, and this book I own. For some reason, that's it. That's all I've touched about Mega Man. Perhaps this, along with the fact that I was baby during the Kickstarter campaign, and as such, never pledged any money or got hyped for trailers, and have no bad memories with it as a result, will allow me to judge the game more objectively. Hello. So, I'm just going to be completely transparent here. That thing I just said about not playing Mega Man, it is 100% true. The script, you may have noticed me tweeting about Mega Man X and Boss Spider. The script was written before I played Mega Man X. The review you are about to watch is completely from the perspective of someone who had never played a Mega Man game before. Obviously, editing this, I have. Since then. But not when I played Mighty Number 9 and not when I wrote this review. Okay, we good? I just wanted to get that out there to avoid the inevitable 10 years when I blow up, some guy like the Act Man is going to comment like, oh my god, he's a fraud. So I just wanted to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay. Alright, what? We start the game, and
Today, the Colosseum walls once again echo with the shouts and cheers of excited fans. When, suddenly...
Yeah, that's all you're given. That's literally it. They don't even finish that sentence. You have to listen to the dialogue to hear the rest. This was easily fixable, too. All they had to say was, the robots went rogue and began attacking people. Or just not include this part. That would have worked, too. In fact, that probably would have been better. The story has a lot of plot holes later on, too. Like, at one point they say Call and Beck were powered off during the chaos, so that's why they're unaffected. But they never explain why those two things are correlated. And when you find out what's causing this, it doesn't make sense. But apparently, Beck, and only Beck, the power to pacify all these robots. Whoa, that's so convenient. Yeah, the plot sucks. Let's get the most important thing out of the way first. This game has a live system. And you only start with 2. Now, I absolutely despise live systems. And with the difficulty this game sometimes has, this probably caused a good chunk of the frustrations and bad reviews at launch. But here's a pro tip. As soon as you start the game, go into the options and set the starting odds to 9. The game is now fun. I beat most levels without gaming over because of the setting. It really makes the experience a lot more enjoyable. Controls are actually really tight. The jump feels good, you stop at a time, and you climb up ladders quickly. They feel great. My one complaint is that you can't crouch, you can only crouch dash. There are definitely situations where crouch will be useful. Oh yeah, the dash. This dash is the core mechanic of the game. You see, just shooting enemies isn't enough. What do you think, this is Mega Man? When they start glowing, you have to dash through them. If you do this right away, you'll get combo and sometimes a power-up. Combo's not on the timer, so it doesn't really encourage you to go fast moving the point for me. And because you have to shoot enemies before you can dash through, it's very stop and go. You often try to go fast and then hit things. Also, the dash definitely needs a nerf, or needed a nerf. It's not getting one now. As you can dash unlimited times in the air and just skip entire sections. No matter how fun it is to do so, and to chain dashes together, skipping entire sections is not good game design. I'm happy to report, though, that they did the thing where if you jump out of a dash, you get lots of momentum. That's how you know a game is good. The game follows a typical Mega Man structure. You know, there are 8 bad guys. You can go and kill them in any order. Once you do, you get their weapon, which another boss is weak to. Problem is the game tells you who is weak to what. Why would you do that? Can't remember the point. The bosses also show up to help you in these levels. You know, the ones that hold the weapon that boss is weak to. They show up to help. But they don't really do anything. Like on Dynavolt's level, there are these flies that are outside and can't hurt you. But then if you save Brandish, which you should do anyway, and come back, he kills them. But like, what exactly was he trying to accomplish? Aside from that, the level design is pretty good. I only have a few sections I have problems with. There's this one saw in Dynavolt's level where you have to crouch dash under it. It's really finicky. These drills in Seismic's level kind of come out of nowhere. And when you go to the White House to stop a sniper from assassinating Obama or whatever, there are no checkpoints. Seriously? You gave us Obamacare, but you couldn't even give us checkpoints? Other than those minor nitpicks, the level design is pretty good, as I stated before. Difficulty feels kind of unbalanced at times. If you don't go in a weapon the boss is weak to, it's incredibly hard, and you end up an hour of footage what was supposed to be the first level. But if you go in with a strength, the boss is usually incredibly easy. Too easy, in fact. Like, look at this. The game shouldn't tell you this, if it's gonna be this easy as a result. And guess what? The bosses also use this dash mechanic, and if you don't dash into them in time, they regain health. I love losing progress. Doesn't really matter though, special weapons just murder them. The weapons are unbalanced too. Based on my tier list here, don't at me, you can see that most of the weapons are pretty bad. Trash, even. The sword is what you'll be using most of the time, due to its high DPS and lack of energy consumption. And when that doesn't work, you use bomb. Whole game right there. There's also a level where you play as Call, who despite being adorable, isn't very fun to play as. Her gameplay is supposed to be focused on stealth, but she still has the dash, because this is easier to just play the game as normal and avoid the stealth. But you're punished for that because you can only shoot one shot at a time and can't absorb enemies. This is Barry too, it's kind of useless. The boss fight sucks. I hope you love waiting. Man, I just haven't seen a level ooze stretch goal more than this one. Hey, spoilers coming up. Skip to this timestamp, but I doubt you care, honestly. After all 8 mighty numbers are defeated, and you go through an extra level for Beck and Call respectively, you finally make it to the Battle Coliseum, where the first shot of the game was. It's revealed that one of Dr. White's robots is what causing this. Dr. White is the guy who made Beck and all of the mighty numbers and Call, so he's a good guy. But it's not him who, it's not him who activated that robot, it was someone else. So he's not in the wrong, but okay. Beck is apparently immune to her assimilation. God, this guy is the hardest Potter I've ever seen, I swear. So it's up to him to stop Trinity. And I do not like this level. The gimmick isn't fully explained. Blocks only regenerate when you step away, which the game never tells you. In fact, it implies something else entirely. And it relies on the propeller weapon for traversal way too much. In my opinion, something like that is supposed to be an extra, not required, but it isn't too bad. And at the end, we make it to the final boss. It's ghastly. Since you've been preying on boss's weaknesses this whole time, this fight is a massive difficulty spike. I hated it. And after you beat it, you get 4 illustrations, and that's the ending. Why is that the ending? You don't even get to see Trinity's new design. Like, it technically concludes things, but not in a satisfying or meaningful way. If Ori 2's plot sucked, and I apparently forgot to talk about how bad it was, then this plot belongs in the trash. Normally I would end the review there, but there is also a DLC to this game, which adds a new playable character and a whole new campaign. I think it's a big enough addition to warrant talking about it, so. You play as Ray. Rachel, full name. A mysterious robot on a quest for answers on who she is and how to fix herself. Yeah, you see, Ray has this funny condition where she constantly bleeds out unless she absorbs over enemies. Getting hit will reduce your max health to where the bar was when you got hit. This sounds bad with the game's current design, but there's a catch. Remember how before I said I often wanted to go fast with Beck, but I would dash into enemies and get hit? Well, Ray is much stronger than Beck is. Just her dash alone is enough to kill most enemies. This is extremely fun. Sprinting through these levels as an unstoppable beast in a mad dash to not lose too much health works great with the level design. There are a couple levels where it doesn't look so well, like the White House again, since its enemies don't respawn. Come on, Obama. I thought all Americans got Obamacare. Hey, spoilers coming up. Skip skip to this timestamp, but my main problem is the story. Again, aside from a few short cutscenes, you get pretty much nothing. The bosses don't even acknowledge her, which I get because it's voice acting, but they made it really lazy where the cutscenes are just automatically skipped and you can see the start of them. Aviator still even refers to as Beck while fighting him. Like, did they really not notice that? Why is she fighting Trinity now? She's after Dr. White. Why do I have to do this fight again? At least the ending's happy and coherent, right? Wrong. In a post-credit scene, it's revealed Ray wasn't fixed, and the whole thing ends on a cliffhanger. Why? This serves no purpose. They knew there wasn't going to be a sequel to this game, so why did they make it a cliffhanger? Alright, that's that DLC done. My main problem with it was priced incorrectly during the sale. Oh. Final verdict. Does Mighty Number 9 deserve the hate? No! It does not. This game is not a stinking pile of trash like every YouTuber says it is. It's got its problems, for sure. It's got visible problems. You can see balancing issues. You can see annoyances. There's questionable level design sometimes. It's got its problems, for sure. But it is a decent game. One that I had fun playing, and one that, if you're a platformer fan, will probably have fun playing too. As long as you set the knives to 9, I cannot stress how much that makes a difference.